Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are enjoying the expansion of your personal desire? Apparently not. Well, desire feels good when there's not a big gap between the releasing of the desire or the realization of it in terms of I know I want it and the getting of it in terms of the manifestation. In other words, we see you. That kind of desire feels good. I want it, I've got it. I want it, I've got it. I want it, I've got it. It's that gap between that I want it and I've got it that gets your goat, isn't it? We are calling this Law of Attraction workshop the art of allowing, because it really is the art of allowing the desire that is hatched within you to be. It's the art of finding yourself in vibrational alignment with what you're asking for. And while it sounds simple enough, it can be a little tricky when contrast that you're living is what gives you the clarification of the desire. In fact, the desire itself is born from the contrast. So as the desire is born and it's floating out there somewhere in what feels to you sometimes like the nebulous, distant future, when the desire is born, all that is required to close the gap on it is you offering a consistent vibration that matches that of your desire. The thing that trips so many of you up is the contrast that provided the desire to begin with is still usually quite vivid in your experience. And many of you, because you've not really been aware of how things come to you, you've pinpointed a few ways that you've seen things come, the vortex called parents, or the vortex called the job I do and therefore the money that comes in response to it. You've pinpointed these avenues through which you think your money comes, and you have come to believe something that is completely false. You believe that by really justifying or defending your negative position, that someone will then yield to you the opposite. Like pleading a needy case to your mother for something. I really need it. I really need it. If you are so unwise as a teenager to say, Mother, I would like to have such and such, she will tell you that they want water in hell too. In other words, just because you want it doesn't mean you should get it. Do you think that money grows on trees? And we are here to tell you and your mother, yes, that whatever it is you want, the universe then goes into immediate readiness of it. In fact, when contrast causes you to launch a desire, no matter how frivolous someone else thinks it is, it's valid when you launch it. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And as you launch those desires, they move forward, and the source part of you, did we mention the larger part of you still remains non-physically focused? Oh, you think you're the big deal here in your physical body, and you are, because you are the leading edge of all of that. You are the extension of creation. And everything that is moving forward is as a result of those like you who are having leading edge experiences and asking for leading edge things. And when your leading edge life causes you to ask for something leading edge, that source energy part of you then gives its undivided attention to the newest idea that you have hatched about how the world or your world would be better. So when an idea of desire emanates from you, the source within you literally becomes it. We've written a book that says when you ask, it is given. The title of the book tells the whole story. Ask and it is given. But an extended, clearer version would say, when you have come forth from non-physical energy, that part of you that explores the contrast and gives birth to a leading edge desire, in the moment that that happens, the larger part of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of the desire that you've hatched. And that's not something to just brush off. Oh, this is that airy-fairy vibrational non-physical stuff. Because everything that you see in this physical world, everything that is manifested, was first thought that it was thought upon. In other words, there has to be a thought, and it must be a chronic thought, and it must be a non-diluted, non-contested, non-resisted thought. When a thought is hatched, and it is a thought that is not contested primarily with opposite vibration, that thought becomes manifestation, and then you call it reality. And as physical humans, you make such a distinction between reality and this vibrational escrow that is this swirling vortex of attraction that we really want to help you to no longer do that. We don't want you to say, oh, but this is reality, like that means so much, because it doesn't mean so much. The reality is just what you've come to so far. It is the bouncing off place for the new thoughts. It is the beginning of the creation that is happening now, you see. What is really doesn't mean diddly squat. It's just where you are currently standing. What matters is the direction you are looking as you are currently standing. And something that you may not know, through the contrast that you've lived, even without being aware of it, you have launched so many rockets of desire. And the source energy part of you has become a vibrational match to those rockets of desires. So before you, in a pre-paved vibrational fashion, are all of the things that you've been asking for, ready for you to become a vibrational match to them. And when you do, they manifest. And even before you become a chronic, steady, vibrational match to them, you feel really, really good. In other words, as you stand here in your powerful now, rather than looking at the now and developing this chronic case of what is itis, in other words, oh, this is what is, and did I tell you what is, and did I tell you what happens, and how are you, and how are you, and oh, look at my life now, and this is what is, and I want to be factual and tell you all of the pros and the cons of what's going on now. If instead of looking at what is right here and now, you will look forward toward this vibrational escrow where all of your future vibrational stuff is already lined up for you, if you would look forward toward that which you have launched, and in doing so, you would begin to develop a habit of thought about it. In doing so, you would become a vibrational match to what's in your vibrational escrow. And when you do that, it must manifest. It is law. But we're not giving this to you because we want so much for all of it to manifest. While we do, we want you to have a full realization and living of life of all things that you think would make you feel better. We want that for you. But we want you to understand that even in the process of forward looking, and by forward looking we mean in the direction of that which your life has caused you to give birth to, in the direction of forward looking, you always feel good. But in looking at what is, maybe not so much. In looking at where you stand in any attitude of justifying why you deserve what you're asking for. When you beat the drum of, I don't have enough money, where's the money? I'm worried about money. You hold yourself in a vibrational pattern where the money that is already amassed and the circumstance and event that have already been lined up elude you. Do you get it that you are vibrational beings? Sort of. When you walk into a room, do you know you observe it vibrationally? Even what you're seeing is a vibrational observation, because seeing is translation of vibration that you call sight. Hearing is translation of vibration that you call sound. You're just so good at it that you say, oh, I don't translate vibrationally. I just see, I just hear, I just smell, taste, and touch. And we say, but all of that is vibrational interpretation. But even more, when you walk into a room, you are privy to the vibrational content of that room. And when you are privy to the vibrational content, depending upon where you are vibrating, if you've been worried, you're privy to that. If you've been elated, you're privy to that. In other words, depending upon where you've set your tuner, you will then begin to receive in this very fabulous leading edge interpretation of vibration, you'll begin to know right away where your vibrational set point is. Someone said to us recently, and a person or two has had a conversation with Esther recently, and the conversation says, I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with this problem in my life, or I'm obsessed with this activity that I enjoy. I'm obsessed with it. Now think about what that means. Obsessed just means you thought about it, which activated the vibration of it. And as you thought about it longer, you activated the vibration of it longer. And it doesn't take much of that before law of attraction kicks in. Really, 17 seconds of steady attention to something gets the ball rolling. And by the time you've done another 17 and another 17 and another 17, and you reach the very short period of time of 68 seconds, law of attraction is kicked in. You've got an activated vibration, and evidence of that vibration will begin to show up. Now, if you do this on purpose, You will teach yourself how well you're doing at holding a thought without distracting yourself from it, and you will show yourself how responsive law of attraction is to that thought. So what do you think about finding a thought that you know would be helpful to you and turning it into an obsession? Why let the things that just show themselves to you, why let CNN make it your obsession? Why let the forum that you're tuning into make it your obsession? Why does somebody else get to choose what you're interested in? Here's the thing that we want you to know. When you walk into a room, you are vibrationally observing, and you only have access to what is active in your vibration. Now, sometimes that's hard to hear because you think, as physical beings and as really good observers you have deciphered your time-space reality in a more clear, consistent manner than ever before. You have more tools to do it. But in the process of observing your environment, most of you are not aware that in the process of observing the current environment, you are creating the future environment. So if you could choose from the current environment the parts you like the best and become sort of obsessed with those positive aspects, your personal future environment would begin to turn in the direction of things more the way you want them to be. But there's another piece of this that we really want to activate in a way that you will really get it. You think when you walk into a room that you have access visually or auditorily or comprehensively to whatever's going on in there, and that just isn't true. You only have access to what's going on in there that you are a vibrational match to. Have you ever misplaced something, couldn't find it anywhere, and then found it right under your nose? Because when you have the attitude it's lost, when you have the belief that it's lost, when you beat the drum, I cannot find it, when you start that search, have you ever looked for something for more than 68 seconds? Of course you have. Every day. Your keys or something. In other words, there are all kinds of things that you have the attitude, I can't find it, where is it, it's lost, or I don't have enough, or whatever. So when you think about something that you've been looking for that you can't find, and then it shows up and you're sure that someone snuck in and put it there, you had it, didn't you? You had it, you were holding it away from me. And then when I gave up, you put it there where I could find it. And we're just wanting you to point out to yourself in a real life experience that when you have decided something, when you have come to a place of expectation, that's a chronic vibrational patterning, maybe temporary, but it's active and it's strong right here and now. And you literally cannot sometimes see things that are right under your nose because, and here's the word we want you to remember, you don't have vibrational access to something that is different than the vibration you're offering. You just don't. Even something as simple as seeing with your own eyes. Esther looked for a gold pen for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Talk about a chronic obsession. She turned the house upside down, went in and out of every closet, every pocket, every purse, every place that it could possibly be, and pronounced to Jerry, it is really, really gone. And then, a month later, looking for something else, she found it. And it was in a bag she had been through several times. But the universe, not maliciously, vibrationally accurately, carefully guided her tender little fingers around the very thing that she was looking for because she was sure it was lost. And you cannot find something that you believe is lost. You don't have vibrational access to it, you see. And so what we are getting at here is you are vibrational creators. And when you get the hang of being a vibrational creator and you care about tuning your vibration, becoming obsessed, activating chronically, which just means give enough attention to it that it's really active in your vibration, the universe must show you the evidence of what's active in your vibration, and always is. In fact, that's a good way to know what's active in your vibration. You're living it. But that's the part that trips you up. It's active in your vibration, so you're living it, and now you're living it, you're observing it. And now you're observing it, you keep it active in your vibration, and now it's active in your vibration, you're living it. And now that you're living it, you're observing it. Now you're observing it, you're keeping it active in your vibration. And now it's active in your vibration. Law of attraction is bringing you more of it, and as you see more of it, observe it, you keep it active in your vibration, and then you pronounce, this is reality. And we say, of course it is. That's how reality is created. But when you decide that you will no longer be a regurgitator of what is, that you will be a selective sifter of the aspects of what is that thrill you, and that you would turn your attention toward the things that life has caused you to create, then you're off and rolling in a deliberate and satisfying way.